Your printer had a little problem, and you need to buy a new one that also scans. And to your surprise, they are quite cheap.
$70. So cheap. Too much actually, to have so many functions.
Well, what you really need most is a scanner. And if one that scans and prints is that price, imagine one that only scans.
$370 the cheapest, so more expensive. That's weird. Okay, it scans faster, but it's a huge price difference. And the other besides scanning, it also prints.
It seems like a no-brainer decision. You go for the cheapest one. And that's when you find out what the catch is.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This printer here, for example, costs only $70. But just one cartridge that prints about 100 pages costs $18. So after printing 389 pages, you've spent the printer's value again. And then you think,
no problem, I can buy cartridges from other manufacturers, at a fraction of the cost, or I can pay to refill the used cartridge, which is even cheaper.
And then the day comes and you discover that the printer just doesn't work. It only accepts original cartridges.
Okay, f it. Who needs to print anyway? I just want to scan and maybe fax my grandfather.
Too bad, it doesn't work. The printer is out of ink. Yeah, I know. Someone at the company must have gotten a nice bonus for this brilliant idea to shove the extremely expensive ink cartridges down your throat. And it doesn't matter if only one of the cartridges has run out of ink. In some there are up to 4, or if it is in black and white mode, it will block, and that's it. And to make matters worse, an analysis made with printers of different brands showed that when used intermittently, about 50% of the ink is spent in maintenance cycles. But now a federal judge has ruled that HP must finally face a class action lawsuit filed against it. It is being accused of blocking virtually all device functions unnecessarily when ink is low, and of deliberately withholding that information from the consumer in order to boost profits by selling expensive ink cartridges. HP has faced several lawsuits previously for forcing the consumer to purchase only original cartridges and not making it clear at the time of purchase.
Whoa, that's a genuinely shocking fact.
For example, the company had to compensate users in Australia, paying out $50 each, for a total likely exceeding $100,000. In Europe, consumers in Belgium, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, who owned certain HP printers between 2016 and 2020, received up to €95 in compensation, totaling $1.35 million. But HP is not the only one. In 2021, Canon also suffered a similar lawsuit. The case was settled in 2022 without disclosing terms. Epson has also been accused of the same by several customers, and the list goes on. It is important to compensate these consumers in some way, but considering the low values of the lawsuits and the recidivism of these companies, it seems to me a very lucrative business.
Very